So what's it like to come back again and do one of these?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's been my dream to reprise this role. And it was really a surprise, a wonderful surprise when they called up and said Nightwing is coming back. So I was very pleased. And Kevin and I, we worked together so well. We just picked up right where we left off.
That's cool. Well, since you are an old hand, so to speak, but this is a new film, is there something you'd like to tell us about your role in this one that is perhaps a little different?
Yes. One thing I really loved about this script is very funny. A lot of comedy in the have you all seen it?
No.
Not yet.
A lot of comedy, and that's always been my thing. That was my favorite thing to do in theater and in TV and in film. So I was really happy that I got to do that this time.
Great.
What's the state of the relationship between Nightwing and Batman in this movie specifically?
Oh, what's great is we're over all of our tension. It's over. You know, we had that whole thing, where I slugged him and I knocked him down and all that. We're past that, and now we're partners. We work together. So,
how about between you and Kevin?
Same thing. Exactly the same thing. Yeah.
You slugged him?
I had to.
Was it when he was doing like I am Batman? You were like, come on, man.
Yeah. Bam.
So
I'm sorry. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, is the partnership, an equal one in this particular
yes.
film?
Yeah,
Okay.
very much so. But they also need the help of a villain to catch a villain, and that's the intriguing part of the plot.
Do you feel like there's some tension going on there that's obviously not with you two, but the whole of it?
Not the only tension between us is I think I trust the villain more than he does, and he's really skeptical. So there's that little bit of that tension, but not very much. And also, he still insists on being kind of a father figure. So there's a couple moments in there where he kind of puts me in my place. I'm like, all right, but it's nothing bad.
Okay.
So Robin, obviously you voiced, and now Nightwing. Any preference, or is it kind of nice to do the progression?
I love doing the progression. I love both characters. I do have a real strong feeling about Nightwing. Nightwing is probably my favorite voiceover role ever. So yeah, even though I've done both versions of Dick Grayson, I prefer the Nightwing one.
So why is it that that's your favorite voiceover role that you've done?
Well, he becomes his own hero. He starts off as a sidekick, and he's always asking, "What are we gonna do, Batman?" And then Batman solves it. And when he becomes Nightwing, he says, "I know what we're gonna do, Batman." And that's some tension because Batman doesn't agree with him. But I like the fact that I got to play. He's a real superhero, and I got to play that.
So you played Robin over a few different continuities. Do they ever tell you to play it differently based on the fact that it's not the same continuing storyline for maybe the TV show, or you're just performing it?
It's different when I play Nightwing. Is different from when I play Robin, particularly in the voice. My voice is higher pitched, younger sounding as Robin. Nightwing, it's lower. It's closer to what Kevin is doing, because in the continuity, Nightwing becomes Batman.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be interesting if my voice sounded more like Kevin's voice as I became Nightwing.
Do they tell you to just perform the character differently if you're doing a movie that's not tied to the TV show?
Well, the script is really what dictated all of that. So the script made it very, very clear that he wasn't, a hothead in the Nightwing version, that he was very much the cool, settled, guy.
So then how is playing him in this movie different from maybe the TV show? If you want to go into detail.
Yeah, it was the humor. There was a lot. I got to do the humor in the TV show also, but there was a lot more humor in this one. And there's a romance. Spoiler alert. So that's he's really evolving as a full three-dimensional person. Guy grown up. He's past being a high school student and all that, and he's having a romance.
Would you like to play whatever the next step may be? Are you pushing for a Nightwing solo?
We don't get to push for anything. Actors are the last people to know. So whatever's happening behind the scenes, I'm happy to do it. And I think when this movie's a big success, which I believe it will be, I think that they will hopefully do more. Because they just actually asked in another interview. They asked Bruce. They said, "Would you like to do more?" And he said, "Yeah." And he's the one who calls the shots. So
What did you think of Melissa doing Harley as compared to some of the other actresses who have done the voice and the stuff you've done?
she was terrific. Boy, she was just great. She fell right into it, and I thought she brought a tremendous amount to the role.
Who was your voice director?
It was Wes Gleason this time.
And how was that? I mean, you worked with Andrea a long time. Or their styles contrast?
Well, no, Wes is a huge fan of the show, so he was very true to what the show was, and it was very easy working with him.
What was it like working with Bruce again after all those years?
Oh, it was great. We really, all of us came together a year ago. It wasn't Bruce, it was Paul Dini in that case. It was Paul, myself, and Kevin, and we did a Viewmaster. We did an episode of the show for Viewmaster. And
for the VR
the VR,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
And there we just, it was like we picked up right away from all those years ago, and it was the same thing with Bruce and with this film.
Cool. So, of course, you said it's got drama, but a little more humor in it.
Yes.
I've heard behind the scenes with voice acting can be a lot of fun. And did you have any fun experiences or good stories about that?
Well, we always have a lot of fun, and we really love to crack each other up. So that's one of the goals. I mean, if I can crack Kevin Conroy up, I've made a very good day for myself. And I think he feels the same way.
Did you get to throw in your own ad libs or anything?
No, we don't get to do that. It's very carefully, storyboarded, and they would like it to be exact. And honestly, it's so well written, didn't need to. I mean, I've done so many projects where, you get a line and say, "Oh my God, do I really have to say that?" Or my character would never say that. It's never happened in the Batman series, not even once.
And you've got a new voice actress playing Harley Quinn.
Yes.
So how was it working with a cast you've done stuff with before, and then getting a new one in there to do this character?
Well, over the years, some of the people have changed. In fact, I don't know if people know this, but Mark Hamill wasn't the original Joker, and Ephraim Zimbalist was not the original Alfred. So Batgirl has changed at least twice that I can think of. So we're always able to adapt to that, and as long as the actors are as generous as the kind of people they find, it's always kind of easy. Paget is great in this; she's wonderful. And I don't know how many Poison Ivy's there, but she's terrific.
How does this rank as far as your favorites for doing Robin and
Well, that's really hard because I had so many great stories in the old show, like the episode Old Wounds or Robin's Reckoning. I mean, I really this would be right up there with that, so I couldn't say it's my favorite, but it's just as much a favorite as any of those.
Robin's Reckoning?